Insecurity? You know that nagging voice, that feeling deep in your gut that you're just not quite enough? Look, we all feel it. But what if you could actually fight back? Not with some kind of wishful thinking, but with a clear, strategic plan. Let's get into it.
Go on, take a second and really think about it. What's that one specific thought that always shows up right before a big meeting or when you're just scrolling through Instagram? That single sentence that seems to have way too much power over you. You got it? Okay, good. Because that feeling, that one thought, it doesn't have to run the show anymore. We're about to lay out a practical game plan to take it apart piece by piece. Okay, first things first, and this is absolutely critical. Before you can even begin to fight insecurity, you have to know what you're really fighting. See, it's almost never the thing you see on the surface. It's the root cause buried deep underneath. Insecurity almost never just pops up out of nowhere. It's usually a ghost from our past. Maybe it's a critical comment from years ago that just stuck. Or the endless comparison game we all play online. Or maybe it's those deep patterns from childhood where you just felt you were never quite good enough. Figuring out where it comes from is the first huge step to disarming it. So, ask yourself this, and it's a really powerful question. When that negative thought pops into your head, is it really your voice? Or is it an echo of a parent, a former boss, maybe even a childhood bully? The moment you can name the source, it loses its mysterious power over you. All right, so once you've identified the source, the next move is to break the mental cycles that keep it on life support. This is where we stop feeding the beast.
Man, this is so important to remember, especially today. Comparison is basically rocket fuel for insecurity, and social media is a total bonfire. You're sitting there comparing your entire behind-the-scenes reality with someone else's perfectly curated highlight reel. It's a game you can't win. Just think about it this way. One of these timelines is a complete fantasy. It's a collection of perfectly edited moments designed for an audience. The other? That's real life. It has the struggles, the setbacks, the messy parts. But guess what? That's where all the actual growth happens. Your journey is the real deal. Theirs is just a performance. Okay, here is a super simple but incredibly effective technique for when you feel that wave of insecurity start to crash over you. Don't fight it, just pause. First, name the feeling. Put a word to it. Second, identify what you truly need in that moment. And third, reassure yourself like you would a good friend. This simple process can stop an emotional spiral dead in its tracks.
This one. This is the big one, isn't it? It's the core lie that so many of our insecurities are built on. And it feels so true in the moment, right? Like it's an undeniable fact. But is it?
This is the question that shatters the illusion. I want you to challenge that belief. Be a detective. Ask for the hard evidence. Is it always true that you're not good enough? In every single situation, without exception? You'll find out pretty quickly that most insecurities just crumble under logical questioning because they're built on feelings, not facts. And now, we shift. We stop playing defense against these negative thoughts, and we start playing offense. It's time to build a fortress of self-worth so strong that those insecure thoughts can't even find a way in. Look, you can stand in front of the mirror and say, "I'm confident," 100 times, but your brain is way smarter than that. It doesn't respond to wishful thinking. It responds to proof. It wants cold, hard data. So let's start collecting some. This right here is your new favorite tool, an evidence log. It's simple. On one side, you write down what that little insecurity voice is whispering to you, and on the other, you write down a concrete piece of evidence, a fact that proves it wrong. When you do this consistently, you are literally rewiring your brain to see reality, not the distorted junk your insecurity wants you to see. Here's one of the most powerful formulas for just demolishing insecurity. Stop chasing the feeling of confidence. Instead, start building competence. Skill is the absolute antidote to doubt. Your insecurity is actually a roadmap. Seriously, it's pointing with a giant neon sign to an area where you can grow. Feeling shaky about your job skills? Go learn more, practice more. Scared of how you communicate? Rehearse and improve. You can turn that fear directly into fuel for action. Growth is the ultimate weapon against insecurity.
So, everything we've talked about so far has been about your internal game. Now, we've got to look outward. Because, let's be real, the people you surround yourself with have a massive impact on your internal world.
I want you to take a really hard, honest look at who gets your time and energy. Some people are like little insecurity factories. They subtly put you down, they minimize your wins, or they're always competing. You have to reduce their emotional access. Instead, invest your time in people who actually champion your progress and value growth.
And here's the bottom line, the thing that ties this all together. The voices you allow around you eventually become the voice inside your own head. So curate your circle with intention. It isn't selfish, it's a core survival strategy.
And this brings us to our final and maybe the most transformative step of all. This is about building an identity that's just bigger and more resilient than any single fear or any single failure.
So many of us, we build our sense of self on really shaky ground. Things like what other people think, our fleeting emotions, or our past mistakes. It's all temporary and external. The strategic shift is to build your identity on a solid internal foundation, your core values, your proven strengths, and your long-term goals. Those things don't change just because you had a bad day.
When you truly know who you are at your core, completely independent of your job title or your relationship status or your latest success, you develop this unshakable inner stability. Insecurity might still come knocking on the door, but it's going to find that nobody's home. And at the end of the day, that's really what this is all about. For years, maybe your whole life, your insecurity has been telling a story where you're the weak, incapable character. But now, using these strategies, you get to pick up the pen. You have the proof, you have the skills, and you have a stable identity to write a completely new story. So the only question left is, what will it be?